Before we start delving into network science, we need to understand a few principles for structure of thinking. There are three important assumptions to remember when examining social networks. First, connections or relations matter. We can't infer the collective's performance from the average performance of each component of the collective. For instance, the collective intelligence of ants in solving problems is much greater than individual ants because of their collaboration networks. This collective intelligence factor also applies to human collaboration networks. When you do your group homework assignment, think about each member's contribution and your information exchange with each of them. Do you think each person can produce the same group output? It is unlikely that one person can make the same outcome as the group, which harnesses the collective wisdom. Second, networks create asymmetries. Communications or information flows in social networks are not created equal. For instance, opinion leaders who are in the center of a social network have greater power to direct the public discourses and sentiment than marginalized individuals. Again, think about your group homework assignment. Who is the leader and who are the followers? If you can quantify all the conversations, you will know about the power structures embedded in your social networks. Third, networks have no agency, but they activate mechanisms and generate emergent phenomena. For instance, as the picture illustrates, this clustered network generates waves. Even the movements of individual dots are identical. To give you a concrete example to illustrate this assumption, think about racial segregation. There are many cultural and economic factors contributing to this problem. However, there is also a network explanation. In social networks, slight individual racial preferences can gradually lead to community-level racial segregations that no one actually intends. It's a gradual collective process. This figure comes from a paper that examines the emergence of segregation in evolving social networks if you want to learn more about this problem. Okay, we have discussed the three assumptions. Now it's time for you to exercise your understanding. These are organizational charts of major technology companies. Think about what the nodes and lines represent. What would you say about the companies as depicted by these networks? Think through the principles we just discussed. Depending on your knowledge of these companies, how much do different organizational networks contribute to different company cultures, performances, or even survival? Is Facebook's distributed network more productive than Apple's centralized network? You can think about many different hypotheses when considering the information flow and decision-making processes in the networks, and it's always good to exercise your understanding through looking at these different charts and network illustrations. After discussing the assumptions, we will learn a little bit about the backgrounds of network science. There are three main traditions in social network research, including social psychology, examining small group dynamics. For instance, your group project, how your group accomplishes the goal as a collective. Then there is anthropology, examining structures of communities, for instance, racial and ethnic cliques in a society. And lastly, there is mathematical sociology, which examines social systems and populations on a larger scale. For instance, the racial segregation problem I just mentioned has been examined a lot through mathematical sociology. The commonality across all these fields is that they all focus on relations and connections. However, they focus on different levels. Some are focusing on interpersonal relations and connections, and others are focusing on how communities connect to other communities and organizations connect to other organizations. Starting from the 1930s, methods of social network analysis have advanced a lot, evolving from hand-drawn networks involving less than 20 people to computer-generated networks nowadays involving tens of thousands of people.